In today's grammar lesson, we will be going over subject and predicate. So what is a subject? The subject of a sentence is the person or thing that does the action. So you need to look at the verb for the action. In most sentences that are in active voice, the subject appears early in the sentence. And then there are three different types of subjects. We have simple, compound, and complex. Here are some examples. Joe enjoys reading science fiction novels. Joe is the subject because Joe is the one enjoying the novels. The students walked calmly down the hallway. The students are the subject because they're the ones doing the walking. Okay, so here we have a chart with our three different types of subjects. Simple is just exactly as it sounds. It's simple. It is the one word that represents the subject. So you might have a person's name, a subject pronoun, the main noun of the sentence, basically. You're going to ignore any articles, adjectives, or predicate pieces that are added to the subject. So let's look at the first example. Most students enjoy the Harry Potter series. So you have to ask yourself who enjoys, and it's students. Most is modifying the word students, so we don't underline that for the simple sentence. J.K. Rowling wrote the Harry Potter series. Who did the writing? J.K. Rowling. Therefore, she is our simple subject. Okay, when you want the complete subject, that's when you're going to take the simple subject and then add in all the other article, adjectives, prepositional phrases, and any other clauses or phrases that you may have. So let's look at the example. Most students enjoy the Harry Potter series. So that's where we take that modifying word and we add it for the complete subject. The author, J.K. Rowling, wrote the Harry Potter series. So again, I have some modifiers and I add that to my complete subject. And then compound is also exactly as it sounds. That's where we have two subjects within one sentence. So let's look at the examples. Most students and teachers enjoy the Harry Potter series. So there we have students and teachers who are doing the enjoying. J.K. Rowling and Suzanne Collins are my favorite authors. Okay, so they are the ones that are the favorite. Therefore, they are the two subjects. Okay, let's do some practice here. We are going to underline the simple subject. Her biggest fear of all time is losing her lucky pen. What would the simple subject be? This one's a little tricky because you're looking for an abstract noun. It's fear, okay? Because she fears losing her lucky pen. Next one's a little tricky too. My brother's favorite band played at the stadium. So you need to ask yourself who is doing the playing. The band played, okay? And then, of course, my favorite sentence, if you know me well, I went to Starbucks. What's the subject? Me. It's I. Okay, so directions. Label the bolded parts of the simple, either simple subject, SS, complete subject, CS, or compound subject, CD. That puppy in the window looks super cute. If you guessed complete subject, you'd be right because we have the puppy, which is the simple subject, but then we have all of the modifiers. My homework is really easy. If you guessed simple subject, you'd be correct. Master Chef and Chopped are my two favorite cooking shows. We have two different subjects. So you should have guessed compound subject. Okay, so let's go over predicate. Predicate is basically a really fancy word for saying verb. Okay, so it's the main verb of the sentence, the one or two words that say what the subject is doing. So we have our action verbs, our being verbs, and our helping verbs, all of which we went over with our parts of speech lesson. So you should know what those are, but you need to ask yourself, what is the subject doing? Okay, there are three types of predicates, just like with our subject. We have simple, complete, and compound. So let's look at the same examples we did before. Joe enjoys reading science fiction novels. So here we found the subject Joe. You have to ask what he's doing. He's enjoying. Okay. The students walked calmly down the hallway. Again, you find your subject, which is students, and you ask what they're doing, and they're walking. So they walked is the predicate. Well, walked is the predicate. Okay, so here's our same chart. with the same sentences. So let's look at it again. So simple is just that main verb, 1 or 2 words at the most that say what the subject is doing. So for simple, we do have 2 different types. Okay. We can have a transitive verb that gets labeled as a VT, and it has a direct object, meaning a pronoun or noun that receives the action of the verb. And then we have intransitive, which cannot take a direct object. It's usually with a linking verb. Okay. So my example of most students enjoy the Harry Potter series, I've got the word enjoy there as my main verb or my predicate. And it's transitive because we can say what they're enjoying. They're enjoying the Harry Potter series. J.K. Rowling is the author of the Harry Potter series. Is here is a linking verb. Okay. So it is a intransitive predicate. Okay. Or an intransitive verb. All right. The complete, just like the subject, but this is a little different because we're talking about the predicate. So it's the simple predicate and then any other articles, adjectives, prepositional phrases, other clauses, phrases. It's basically the rest of the sentence unless you have another independent clause, but we'll get to that later. So example, most students enjoy the Harry Potter series. So we go from the actual predicate, so enjoy, and then we go for the rest of the sentence until the period and we're done. Okay. J.K. Rowling is the author of the Harry Potter series. So same thing. I took my is, that's my simple predicate, and then I underlined everything after it, because that would be my complete predicate. And compound, just like subject, that's when we have 2 predicates within one sentence. So most students and teachers read and enjoy the Harry Potter series. And then J.K. Rowling and Suzanne Collins have written and published young adult novels. Okay, so there we have 2 different predicates. Okay, let's move on to some practice here. Same sentences. Okay, well, almost. Her biggest fear of all time is losing her lucky pen. Is losing is our simple predicate. Notice it can be 2 words. My brother's favorite band played at the stadium. What did the band do? They played. And then I went to Starbucks. I went. Okay. All right. So this is the same thing as before. We're going to label the different parts. So we have a simple predicate, which is an SP, complete predicate, CP, or compound predicate, which is a CPP. Okay. So my little brother is so annoying. The sentence is also very true for me. Okay. So if you guess simple, you'd be right. We walked home and did our chores. That would be so awesome if you guys could do that for your parents, right? All right. So if you guessed that that is compound, you would be right because we have walked and did. After the movie, we went out to dinner. And there is our complete. Okay. Okay, one more practice and we're ready to go. So let's label the underlined verb as transitive or intransitive. My phone battery died. Intransitive because nothing comes after the verb. We walked home and did our chores. It is transitive because we can say what we did. The referee blew the whistle. Is transitive because we knew that he blew. What did he blow? The whistle. My homework is really easy. It's going to be intransitive because of the type of verb we have. Okay, underline the simple subject and the simple predicate here. Her keys fell on the floor. So what do you think the simple subject is? You guess keys, you'd be right. And then what were the keys doing? They fell. So that would be our predicate. Kelsey and India are on the varsity softball team. So think about our simple subject. It would be Kelsey and India are on the varsity softball team. So they are. The referee blew the whistle. The referee is the subject. And blew is the simple predicate. He hit his head and got a concussion. The simple subject is he. And the simple predicate is hit and got. Okay, I think that will do it for this lesson. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.